Hey there, I'm Ria. I'm a former teacher turned special education advocate, and I work with families just like yours to take the overwhelm out of IEPs and turn it into confidence, clarity, and action. If you've ever walked out of an IEP meeting feeling confused, ignored, or flat out frustrated, you are not alone. But I want you to know it does not have to be like that. And summer is the perfect time to get ahead of the chaos and learn how to advocate effectively before the new school year begins. Today, I'm going to walk you through my four-step advocacy framework. It's the same one that I teach inside of my program, Advocacy in Action, so that you can finally stop guessing and start advocating with purpose. Let's get into it. Step one is to establish the need. This is where most IEP problems or issues really begin. The school might be offering services or accommodations, but they aren't clearly connected to your child's actual needs. Or even worse, the needs aren't fully documented at all. You might feel like your child is struggling, but the school says that they're doing fine, or there's no evaluation for the things that we're concerned about. Or you might even be to a point where you don't know what to ask for, and that's totally okay. That's why we start here. We really want to establish the need. And inside of Advocacy in Action, I show you exactly what to do and how to gather and analyze your child's records, their evaluations, and present levels to clearly define the need. But for now, just know this is where we need to start. We need to figure out what it is that your child needs. This step ensures that what your child is getting makes sense for them and meets their unique learning needs. Because if you can't prove the need, it's nearly impossible to advocate for the right support for that need. Step two is where you'll want to get super specific. This is where the rubber meets the road, and vague goals like will improve reading skills or will complete assignments independently aren't going to cut it. They leave way too much room for interpretation and very little room for accountability. Some signs that we might need to get specific are things like the goals are super broad and they don't feel meaningful, or they keep saying that your child is making progress, but you can't see it, or when you don't know if the supports are actually supporting. This is where you'll want to identify specific needs. So, for example, you'd go from a concern in reading to something like the specific skill of phonemic awareness. This is where you'll want to break down the IEP and evaluate if the goals, accommodations, and services are specific, measurable, and actually connected to your child's needs. And inside of Advocacy in Action, we teach you these skills. We talk real examples, and you get templates and tools to help you do this with confidence. Step three is where you'll identify what's missing. You can't fix what you can't see. And once you understand your child's needs and what is currently being provided, you can begin to spot the gaps, the missing services, outdated evaluations, unsupported behavior challenges, or unclear accommodations. Some signs that you need to identify what's missing is maybe that the IEP hasn't changed in years, or you were told to wait and see again. Or maybe no one's addressing your concerns about things like executive functioning or emotional regulation. In this step is where families really start to feel empowered. And this is what we walk you through in Advocacy in Action. We take you through exactly how to audit the IEP and pinpoint what's missing using both your child's data and IDEA law. So you're not just asking for more, you're asking for the right things that will truly support your child. And last but not least is step four, which is to advocate strategically. This is where it all comes together, and steps 1 through 3 really help you when you're in the IEP meeting and you're trying to advocate for your child. Advocacy does not have to mean conflict. And in fact, when you're coming in having prepared with steps 1 through 3, you feel much more confident instead of feeling like there will be conflict. But all of this really does require a plan, knowing how to phrase your requests, what you can say at the table, and when to push back without burning bridges. That's a total game changer. So if you feel like you freeze in meetings or you feel like you don't know what you're allowed to ask for, what you can ask for, or if you're feeling like you have no power, I would highly, highly recommend reaching out or jumping into Advocacy in Action, because inside I teach you exactly what to do, how to show up at that meeting prepared. And you also have the community in our Facebook group and the other two advocates that we work with. So you always have someone in your back pocket when you have a question or a concern or you're trying to figure something out. We're here for you. And then we also have those live meetings monthly too, where you can ask questions and we talk about what exactly is going on for you and how we can best support you. So, like I said, inside of Advocacy in Action, I do teach you exactly how to show up to that meeting feeling prepared with a written plan, legal knowledge, and language that gets you results. We even practice it together in those live coaching sessions, so you're never going through this alone. You've always got someone by your side. I'm going to be really honest with you. Summer is going to be your absolute best time to do this work. I know the kids are home and always hungry for a snack, but this is the time when you're not worried about a meeting. You're not worried about all the chaos of the school year. Right now, you have the time to review the records, even if it's just in small bits and pieces, because that's what we do inside Advocacy in Action. It's all in small chunks because we're all parents here. So right now, like I said, you have time to review the records and to spot the gaps and to build a strategy without that pressure of the daily emails from the school or behavior reports or meetings or phone calls home, field trips, tests, all those things. And that way, when fall rolls around, you'll be ready and you won't be feeling reactive. You'll walk into that school year feeling confident, knowing how to advocate for your child. If you wait until the school year starts, you're back into survival mode, and I don't want you to feel that way again. Advocacy in Action is enrolling right now. It's open. Our next live session is coming soon, and this is the time to join. So if you're interested, make sure that you check out the caption or the description below this video so you can find the link and learn more. You don't need to be a lawyer to advocate for your child. You just need a system and a guide who understands what it's like to go through this process. If you're ready to feel confident in your role as your child's advocate, to stop second guessing and start getting real results, I would love to support you inside of Advocacy in Action. Check out the link in the description to learn more and get enrolled today, and I can't wait to see you inside. You've got this, and I've got you, and I'll see you next time.